What's up?
What's up, bro?
How you doing? Welcome to the shop.
Thank you.
Come on over.
Let's get started.
What's going on, everybody? I got my buddy Dennis here, and we're gonna show you guys basics to cutting a comb over and sectioning. First, let's get this cape over. Next up, we got our neck strip. Boom. Next, we'll grab our comb, wide tooth side, water, start sectioning everything out from the crown here. Once we're fully saturated, I'll flip over to the fine tooth side. I'll start combing and penetrating within the root. Get that crown. You can already see naturally, Dennis has a natural comb over, so it'll be really, really easy bringing this all together. Comb overs have got to be my favorite haircut to do basic sectioning and scissor work on, just because it's just that easy to just throw it all together. After this, we're gonna get a shear. We got our 5-inch shear. Always rolling with the 5-inch shear. There's more control. You're able to maneuver around the head without flailing around your 6 or 6.5-inch shear. I find the 5-inch is perfect. What I usually like doing, I kind of just comb everything out from the fine tooth side already in the shape and style that it's already going to be cut. Then I'll start by making a structure here just to make sure that everything's all nice and tidy to the desired style that it's already going to be cut into. So after this, what we're going to do is just take section by section, and after you've consulted with your client how much you want to take off, I'll take my first section like this, pull it on back. Whatever hair that's not getting cut, pull it on back. Whatever hair that's getting cut, move it forward and make sure it's a nice clean section for the first time. Bring it back up. So for comb overs, what you want to look out for, and the way that Dennis's hair had grown out, he's grown out from a textured crop, and now we're converting it back over to the comb over what we used to. A lot of the fringe is longer within the midsection, so what we'll do is we'll even it all out from here. Make sure that we have like a nice evenly cut fringe so that when it does style, it throws up and over really nicely. And we'll take our next section, a finger's width all the way across, bring it on down with the previous section we had cut, and we'll just recreate those cuts. Do it again on this side, make sure it's pulled up at a full 90. Take our next finger's width section, brush it forward, and do this all the way to the very end. And you notice how I've taken out that first section that we've taken, and we're only pulling from the new section and the previous section we've cut. So in total, about a comb's width apart. It's about like half a finger and half a finger meeting in the middle. And what that does is you get more precise cuts rather than pulling previous hair from the last two sections you cut all together combined. It kind of alters the way that the hair falls and the way that the hair is cut ultimately. So we'll work on sections at a time. Keep in mind, we're doing fingers worth sections as we move back, and we're bringing it together with the previous section that's been cut. We'll round off everything. Make sure you guys take your time with these sections going on back. That's how you guys are going to get nice even cuts. Make sure that everything looks pretty. And as we get to the crown, what I like doing when it comes to back here, I like taking care of each individual section, pulling a nice vertical section just to be sure that the hair all falls into place. I'm just going to resort this all out here and make sure it looks all nice. Before we get back here, turn Dennis around here, and everything has been cut from the fringe all the way to the tip of the comb here. What's left is the hairs in the crown and the shelving that happens here. So what I end up doing a lot of times when it comes to comb overs. I'll start off with this back panel on this side to make sure that everything has been cut nice. So you guys can see here, this section will be tightened down. I'll use the very tips of my shears to just finesse my way through. Take a little bit of the old, add it into a little bit of the new. Make sure you're taking your time to pull that tension out. Get a nice pull on that new batch of hair. You guys can see how beautifully everything's really coming together. Now is when I start to switch directions on the angle of the pull. So I'll start coming out this way now. This way. Just because this is the way that the hair is laying and wants to be cut. So I'm gonna follow it all the way through. You get to see that. Do it again over here. And we're gonna keep going until we migrate all the way up onto the other side there. Nice. Do it one more time over here. You guys can see I'm not really directing the hair off the head at a full 90. It's more so directing it downwards, tapering it. So we'll have longer sections pulling down on the shorter cut sections down low. And one last section, which is this panel here. You guys can see all those little hairs. Okay, now we've gone through the entire head. What's next is we have to cross section to make sure that everything has been cut evenly. So keep in mind, we did horizontal sections while standing behind Dennis, going all the way back. How do we figure out this has been all cut equally in order to proceed to finishing the haircut? So instead of having to go back this way, I like hitting this on a diagonal section coming back this way towards its crown in order to see which hairs need to be cut more equally. You can see the first section there has been cut quite nicely. Not much work needs to be done in order for it to straighten out. So what we're looking for here, guys, is we're looking for irregular waves in the trend of the way that the hair is cut. You guys can see that little hump that happens there. So what we'll do is we'll just cut it straight across to even it out all the way to the crown. Make sure it's all connected. That's our goal here, is to make sure that the top is connected with the sides. So if there's any adjustments and fine tune that we need to do, we'll do it here before we proceed. You guys can see here, here's a really great example of the top that's been cut and connecting to the sides. You guys can see it, the two worlds colliding. You can see that wave that happens there. This is where a lot of the length gets hidden. People forget to cut and just leave it and let their crown just be long, and guys come back and say, hey Rocky, hey, I noticed the crown was a bit too long. Maybe we could just take a look at that next time. So this will limit you guys having to go back to do it again. Just make sure you do it right the first time. Now that's done. Triple check your work. I'll do a quick run through of everything without sectioning, just by grazing through the entire head and just scaling through it like this to be sure everything's been cut evenly and equally, just by scaling through just to see if I see any unequal lengths is what we're looking for here. And there it is. We finished the top portion. Now, if there is any hairs that need to be trimmed on the side here, what I would recommend you guys doing is leaving this part for last. And I typically just take diagonal sections going forward, because that's the way that the hair is moving. And I'll just slightly taper everything off to make sure it's not too long. And you guys can see where those long lengths kind of like overshadow and overcast the entire head. And we'll just follow this all the way back We'll replicate it on the other side the same way as well. Just take your time with it. Now that's done. Don't gotta cut anything there. We'll do the same thing on this side here. So already I could see this is already blended in quite nice. It starts to elongate itself over here in the midsection. So I'll skip on even cutting anything here. I'll just jump to the real problem, which is over here, where everything starts to become a little bit long. So we'll just pick and pull, isolate this entire side just to be sure everything's tip-top shape. And there you have it. Finalized, all done, evenly cut, section for section, including cross sections to make sure that everything's been cut nice and even. And there you have it. And that's how you do basic sectioning and basic scissor work on a comb over.